Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana Midday.
Welcome to NewsLink Indiana Midday. I'm Jessica Velez. President Donald Trump says his new auto tariffs will bring manufacturing back to the U.S. Many economics say the downsides could be a triple blow to American consumers. The new tariffs would add 25% to the cost of importing a car starting next week. Experts say duties on parts would make domestic models more expensive. Amy Kiley reports the third blow could be in the form of retaliatory measures from other countries.
Nothing is off the table to defend our workers and our country.
Some U.S. trade partners say they plan to retaliate if President Donald Trump follows through with new auto tariffs. 25% duties on vehicles assembled outside the U.S. are set to start April 3rd. Tariffs on imported parts are scheduled to begin by May 3rd. Right now, the North American auto industry is effectively a collaboration between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. If that changes, Canada's Prime Minister says his country will respond forcefully.
We will fight the U.S. tariffs with retaliatory trade actions of our own that will have maximum impact in the United States and minimum impacts here in Canada.
He also says Canada is looking for new trade partners.
It's going to disadvantage our car industry, and it could eventually cause even more pain in terms of job loss in the long run.
The Mexican president says she'll wait until next week to respond. Germany's economy minister says, quote, "We will not back down." And Japan's prime minister says all options are on the table regarding the tariffs.
It's a lose-lose, and that's also frustrating.
Most economists say Trump's tariffs themselves will raise U.S. car prices. His administration downplays that.
The 25% tariff is going to be absorbed in a lot of different ways, and we're going to race to get more production here. And on net, consumers are going to be better off.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The EU Commission says it'll wait until next week to decide on a response, but France's president says Europe will reciprocate. Walgreens has agreed to pay millions of dollars to settle allegations that it overbilled Medicaid programs in Georgia and Massachusetts. The Justice Department announced that more than $2.8 million settlement Thursday. A lawsuit claimed the national pharmacy chain violated the federal Massachusetts and Georgia False Claims Act. Walgreens was accused of submitting inflated prices for certain generic medications to Medicaid programs in those two states over a 15-year period. As a result, the states claimed their programs had to pay more for those medications than they should have. The lawsuit was brought by a whistleblower who filed on behalf of the government. The Trump administration has temporarily restored funding to an initiative that tracks alleged Russian war crimes. That's according to a congressional source familiar with the matter. It was reported last week that President Donald Trump cut funding for the Ukraine Conflict Observatory, but funding has been restored for 6 weeks, according to the source. This will allow the database of evidence to be sent to the European Union's law enforcement agency. The temporary reversal comes after congressional concern. Lawmakers said this data was crucial to Ukraine's efforts to return 30,000 children that had gone missing during the war. The contract to end support for the Ukraine Conflict Observatory was among thousands of foreign aid awards the Trump administration terminated. There's another troubling sign for the environment. According to new data, the amount of sea ice on Earth has reached an all-time low. The data was released Thursday by NASA and the National Snow and Ice Data Center. The researchers say winter sea ice cover in the Arctic is at an annual peak on March 22nd. According to the measurement taken on that day, the ice cover was 5.53 million square miles, which is a new low. The previous low was measured in 2017, when it was 5.56 million square miles. Meanwhile, the summer ice in the Antarctic was measured on March 1st. This is the time of year where sea ice is at a minimum in the region. However, the data shows it tied for the second lowest sea ice on record. Let's take a look at today's NewsLink Indiana weather. These are the conditions right now. It's 62 degrees under cloudy skies. Expect a very warm day today with the high in the mid-70s. A warm weekend is ahead before things will cool down in the 7-day forecast. Highs will drop from the 70s to around 50 early next week, and several rainy days are ahead. Riley's Children's Hospital patient for nearly a decade gives back through a bracelet business he started with his brother. As a 2025 Riley champion, Corey's story highlights the power of family, support, and positivity.
When I was sick in a hospital bed with nothing to do, just that little thing counted.
Corey Buwalda has been going to Riley Children's Hospital in Indianapolis every month for almost a decade.
And I get an infusion, just me and my dad. We spend the day in Indy, and it's a great time.
Corey has a strong support system around him, from his parents to his nurses.
Yeah, I don't know what my life would look like without them.
And of course, his siblings.
I don't understand how he does it like that. It works faster.
Corey and his brothers started Boy's Bracelet business after he received a bracelet making kit at Riley. Corey's parents told me it has been a great way to watch them bond.
You know, when it first started, it's been a few years back, and they, brothers don't always get along, and this is a cool way for them to do something together and connect in that way.
And their business has a bigger purpose. 10% of their sales go back to Riley Children's Hospital to help kids just like Corey.
Because they have done countless things for me, I just wanted to give back to them.
I feel really lucky that we live near such an amazing hospital that's doing so many amazing things, and to know that Corey and Milo are giving, a little bit of what they're doing to that is really, really cool.
Corey was also highlighted as a Riley champion for 2025.
And she tells me, you're going to be a Riley Children's ambassador for Riley Children's Hospital. And I go, great, what does that mean?
The program highlights Riley patients in Indiana who help others navigate their medical journeys. Corey's dad says it is because of Riley they have been able to have such a positive attitude.
We get caught up in their lives and them in ours, and so they're just very excited to see Corey, and they're just a great staff.
And they continue to spread their positivity, one bracelet at a time.
The University of Wisconsin-Madison estimates anywhere between 10 to 30% of students in higher education are neurodivergent. The Hoosier Alliance for Neurodiversity was created at Ball State to give neurodivergent students a chance to socialize and relate to one another. For the Hoosier Alliance for Neurodiversity, this past February was Care and Connection Month, a month used to encourage self-care and connecting with others. The club's secretary, Natalie Jean, shared that they took advantage of the month by hosting 2 self-care events.
College is hard, and especially harder on neurodivergent students. So we take this time to kind of offer like a safe space to be like, hey, come down and paint stuff or write some positive affirmations so you can look back on like the good moments.
Many students like Natalie, who are neurodivergent, joined the Hoosier Alliance for Neurodiversity because it gave them the opportunity to create new bonds in an otherwise daunting campus.
Campus was a really big change because I was a small town girl knowing everybody, and now I'm on a big campus and I don't know anyone. So this really provides students like a connection to somebody that understands your struggles.
One of the organization's founders, Sam Johnson, encourages any students who haven't exactly felt like they fit in anywhere on campus to attend one of their events.
We're not interested in whether or not anyone is diagnosed. There are lots of barriers to getting diagnosed that makes it impossible for some people.
The club welcomes all students and continues to strive to remind the world that there is no normal type of brain. And that's your NewsLink webcast for today. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to join us tonight at 6:57 on Ball State PBS. And for news anywhere, anytime, go to ballstatedaily.com.